Cardi B music promotes hoe culture, but in her real life, she promotes submissive wife and traditional values.
So this is like really controversial, right?
Go ahead.
I feel like it's very controversial when be like, oh, I don't go 50-50, but it's like, all right. So if you and your man make the same amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. But only your man is the one that paying all the bills. How you ever gonna save up to like buy a house or buy a business? Because he's never gonna be able to afford to. So it's like certain things is like a joint thing to do. You know
gotta
what I'm
work
saying?
together.
Like, it's like
considered the greatest spitting. I tell them I'm Christ like they envision modern Christian. Tell them I'm nothing like check conditions of how I'm living. I preach Christ, we ain't fake delivering. Listen, Candy man, soon as they. It's not about how much Bible chapter and verse you know. It's about how much Bible you willing to obey.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Reese Johnson. This is the Gutta And Saved podcast. Y'all already know what time it is. I'm going to need y'all to smash up that like button, subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, and share this out. Tell a friend who will tell a friend who will tell a next of kin. Gutta And Saved is back at it again. Now, I know Cardi and Offset is going through some troubling times in their marriage. You know, some people say Offset, you know, is with another girl now, and you know they on the brink of divorce. You know what I mean? Y'all know how the tabloids is. We don't know, but it seems to me, you know, Cardi B value traditional roles when it comes to, you know, her real life. Now, although her music promotes whole culture and she rap about, you know, being ratchet and women doing this and women doing that, her little history of, you know, setting dudes up and drugging them. Y'all, we already knew that. We ain't got to go down there. But aside from that, it seems to me that Cardi understands the power dynamics of a man and a woman in a relationship, whether it be in a marriage or just, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend. It seems to me she understands that power dynamic of how men and women should operate while in a relationship, a marriage, or holding down the crib.
So this is like really controversial, right?
Go ahead.
I feel like it's very controversial when be like, oh, I don't go 50-50, but it's like, all right. So if you and your man make the same amount of money, right? But only your man is the one that paying all the bills. How you ever gonna save up to like buy a house or buy a business? Because he's never gonna be able to afford to. So it's like certain things is like a joint thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Together. It's like a work together. But I just be feeling like sometimes people, like the internet really be having people fucked up from like real reality type shit. So it's like, all right, so your mom and dad used to work every single day, right? Mm-hmm. So your mom and dad used to work every single day so your mom could save her money and buy purses and your dad just pay all the bills. That's not how it works. It's either your mom was in the house cooking and cleaning every day, your dad was working, or they was both working to pay both the bills. Like y'all be acting like y'all don't know what the fuck that is like no more. Like come on.
And your mom money was your dad money, and your dad money was your mom money.
Like, it was like that. It's like
now I can honestly say I agree with Cardi B. I don't agree with Cardi B on a lot of things, but I agree with her on this. If your spouse has an income and you have an income, you know, and he's paying all the bills, what you doing with your money? You know how he's going to be able to save money. You know what I mean? How is he going to be able to start a business? How he's going to be able to, you know, buy a house and, you know, do all that good stuff. I agree with what Cardi B said. You know what I mean? And then she went into the whole 50-50 thing. If you get in the bag and she's getting the bag, it's only right that y'all come together and do it together. Cardi B made some good points, and I know, like she said, it's going to make a couple people mad and, you know what I mean, all that stuff. She made some good points, but unfortunately, like she just said, you know, the internet has delusionized reality. A lot of people just don't want the power dynamics of a relationship to work anymore. Everything is just about what I can get out this relationship. And if you're not able to do all this stuff, then at this point you gotta go, or the relationship is over. At the end of the day, all we're watching is relationships is just transactional right now. Now, like I said, I love what Cardi B is saying in this video. Now, what she's about to say next really made me respect her a lot more. She explained why she's not a feminist anymore, and she have some good points.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a feminist anymore because it's like sometimes it's like y'all bitches don't be living in the real world. Y'all not living there.
Y'all be talking about my money is my money and his money is my money.
I mean, my money is my money, his money is my money. But like, my money is my money. Like, my money is my money and his money is his money. But it's like, but you know, like it's like we both spend money on each other and everything. And it's like if we want to go and everything, it's like alright, like if we're gonna buy a house, like let's go half and half. And it's like if we're gonna buy,
it's not a one-way street.
It's not a one-way street. Like it's like if we're gonna buy like crazy expensive furniture, it's like alright, you buy the couch and I buy the dining room set. Like it's a both thing. Like it's a both thing.
See, check this out. Traditional values still hold true. As the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And here's another thing, you know, that's funny. Y'all, see all these women say it takes a village, but then in the same breath they say F niggas. Y'all know I don't cuss, so you know what I mean. But y'all dare say F niggas. You know what I mean? See, in today's world, we are witnessing a shift where chivalry is not, a thing no more. Submission is not a thing no more. Instead, this generation, find themselves, in this dating culture focusing on them and centering themselves. And if you can't transact or, the relationship around them, then you ain't got no relationship. You know what I mean? The mentality of a lot of these younger generations, this generation, I'm not even gonna say the younger people, because some of the older people around my age are still smack dab out of their mom. See, the mentality is centered only on them. The mentality is, if you can't do this for me, then I don't want you. It's not about what you can do for me and I can do for you. Everything is about me, me, me. And that's the only thing you see going on in this generation. Everything is centered around being transactional. This generation, they just want dictatorship over partnership. They don't want a spouse. They want somebody that they can rule over. The men, both the men and the women. This is not only men and it's not only women. It's both the men and the women. Women are reluctant to follow the submissive roles of their grandmothers. That's out the window. While men is unwilling to toil their life away like their grandfathers did. That's out the window. Chivalry is dead and submission is dead. This culture has done a good job. This current culture has done a good job at making duty, obligation, and partnership look like oppression. Yeah, they making all duty, obligation, and partnership look like it's a form of oppression and holding women back. Now, here's the crazy thing. Hedonism, self-care, self-love, and selfishness is the new form of liberation. Yeah, look, I'm gonna need you. No, matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on the screen right here. Let's define hedonism real quick. Hedonism is defined as the pursuit of pleasure, sensual self-indulgence. And that's where we at in this current climate of dating, relationships, and everything in life. In this current culture when it comes to, marriage and relationships. Now, I love how this woman broke down hedonism. She explained it thoroughly.
I've heard you also say that in marriages, we've replaced duty with hedonism.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, family members, before, when we were more collectivist, we would have a duty of care to others. We've replaced that with a duty of care to ourselves. We've replaced everything to self-love, self-care, self. We've just replaced everything. Almost everything has self in front of it. I can't think of the last time we've got a concept or a trend that involves duty, and it's an obligation and responsibility. These things are now seen as boring and they're seen as oppressive. So what culture has done is turn duty into a form of oppression, and hedonism and selfishness as a form of liberation, and it's indoctrinated all of us.
And it seems like for a lot of people, once the novelty of the romance wears off, the routine of everything just becomes too boring to tolerate.
When you can no longer feed my ego I have no duty of care to you, is what we're getting. If you can no longer pay all my bills, I have no duty of care to you. Or if you can no longer make me feel or look good in front of my friends, and if you no longer can arouse me sexually the way you used to, I have no duty of care to you anymore. So the lack of duty of care to the people that you've created children with, you've created homes. I'm not saying everybody's perfect, sometimes some partners really do push you, but I'm just saying in general, the lack of duty of care is something that I think it actually starts from the home.
See, here's the thing. Individualism, self-care, self-love, you know, and all that stuff, I know it has its place. It has its place. But this culture has taken it too far. That stuff now is people's whole identity. You know, this culture is the reason for the poor relational dynamic breakdown in between men and women in relationships. Like, it's crazy at this point. Both men and women are selfish. And unfortunately, you know, at this point, it's a runaway train. Marriage isn't honorable no more. Love ain't love no more. And unfortunately, again, at this point, it's every man and every woman for themselves, man. But that's all I have. Y'all hop down in the comments. Let's chop this up, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Considered the greatest spitting. I tell them I'm Christ-like, they envision modern Christian. Tell them I'm nothing like, check conditions of how I'm living. I preach Christ, we ain't fake delivering. Listen, Candy man, soon as they, it's not about how much Bible chapter and verse you know, it's about how much Bible you willing to obey.